Hi, my name is Henrik and I'm the youngest Scandinavian to have visited every country in the world.
This is Henrik Jeppesen from Denmark.
I didn't have much money, so I had to be creative because I visited every country in the world on an extremely low budget.
He visited every country at age 27.
In 2010, I began traveling full-time, but I started with just $1,500, so I had many challenges.
Henrik has visited more than 1,000 destinations, traveled more than 3,000 days, visited more than 100 territories, in addition to all the 193 official countries of the world.
I'm from Denmark, from Thy, approximately 400 kilometers from Copenhagen.
Henrik and I are both from Denmark, and even though we come from different parts of the country, we have been good friends for quite some time and share the same passion for travel. This time we met up in Tallinn, Estonia, where Henrik has lived for the past half a year. Welcome to Estonia!
My favorite city to live is Tallinn, Estonia.
But it hasn't always been like this. Henrik didn't travel much as a kid and was actually afraid to travel.
I was very afraid of traveling. I grabbed my father's hand when I walked on the famous shopping street Strøget in Copenhagen when I was just a kid. The way to get more comfortable with travel is to start in your own comfort zone. Start exploring your own area, then explore your own country, and then go to your neighboring countries and take it from there.
However, boredom made him decide to travel alone to Egypt and Asia when he was just 17 in 2006. Have you ever been robbed or mugged or something like that?
Yes, I have been robbed 4 times. I first was robbed in Liverpool when I was 17 years old. I cried, went home and thought I would not want to travel again. But I think around a week later I had already started to plan a trip to Mallorca. I was robbed when I was 18 in the streets of Brussels, and I went home again right after because it was a terrible, frightening experience. I have also been robbed in China, where someone opened my bag and took my wallet. But fortunately for that trip, I didn't travel alone. I traveled with a Norwegian guy that borrowed me some money. And finally I was robbed in the Gambia, and that's the best story because it was at a ferry station where they took my passport out here of my front pocket. But fortunately, I got it back again. I was screaming and crying in front of hundreds of people, and suddenly the police came with a passport, and that was mine.
Hitchhiking has been a big part of Henrik's travels, and I've honestly never met a guy who has hitchhiked more than him.
How many times have you hitchhiked around?
I have probably hitchhiked with more than 1,000 cars, but it's been necessary because I've been on a very low budget. I often had to spend a lot of time in front of the screen, travel planning, visa requirements, but also obtaining partnerships. I have done partnerships with more than 100 airlines and 1,000 hotels.
Since visiting every country, Henrik's life has changed a lot. On the positive side, he got married with the woman of his dreams in her hometown in Brazil just before COVID-19 broke out in the Western world. On the negative side, Henrik has been to around 40 specialists in the past 2 years because of daily jaw pain and headache. It has been some tough years for Henrik, and so far nobody has found a solution. The cause is unknown, but some people think it's been due to living a stressful life. Henrik is now taking it easy in Estonia, and he is focusing on relaxing trips instead of the many adventures of the past.
Traveling on a low budget was a big challenge because it would have been a lot easier if I had a lot of money to visit all the world's countries. Another challenge is loneliness. I was homesick a lot in the beginning, but I got used to being lonely, so after some time that was no longer an issue.
What has been your #1 travel experience?
Probably South Georgia Island in the Atlantic Ocean. It's not actually an independent country, but what we call a territory. It's extremely beautiful. Another issue is visas. The Danish passport is actually one of the most powerful in the world. We can visit approximately 150 countries without needing to obtain a visa in advance. But it's the last 10, 20 most difficult countries that are really a big problem because they require a lot of research and there's no guarantee you will actually be able to visit them. But I've been very blessed. Another challenge is social life that maybe has a connection to loneliness, but I have not been able to maintain friendships for a lot of years, and that's a downside. If you decide to travel a lot around the world like Gustav is doing and like I'm doing, that we both travel a lot, it's really a big downside. You're in your 20s where most people have a great social life, you actually spend a lot of time alone. But travel is a matter of priorities. How important do you want it to be in your life? And for me, I just felt that travel was so important because it's so exciting.
Visiting all the countries in the world in a time before influencers at the age of 27 is a huge accomplishment. Especially the way Henrik has done it. Very positive guy and optimistic for the future.
Bye.
Oh, that was bad, we missed that. This is what you sometimes face, but that's how it is to be a traveler. I have traveled approximately 3,000 days. That includes almost 5 months in my favorite countries of South Africa and Estonia. I really love exploring my favorite countries in full, and I look forward to travel a lot more when the pandemic is over.
What's been your worst travel experience?
Food poisoning. It started with emergency in Bali in 2013. The year after, I was in a hospital in Chennai, India, after I got food poisoned on the Andaman Islands, which is an Indian territory located between the Indian mainland and Thailand. Later, I got an ambulance in Dubai. I got an ambulance in Estonia, but that was due to a kidney stone problem. Anything to do with health issues, that has been absolutely terrible, and that is something that's a big downside to travel if you don't have a high quality hospital nearby when you really need it. Be kind to others, don't judge other people, and also please look at what makes you happy. I personally think that it's more important to have freedom than money. We spend way too much time in front of our screens. It's better to spend that time out in nature, go out, travel, meet other people. I also think that travel is a thing that is good to do at a young age because it gives you memories you can have for your entire life.
Super.
This is Henrik, my friend, the youngest Scandinavian guy to visit every country in the world at age 27. How cool is he? Remember to subscribe to Gus on the Go.
Good experiences.
Yes, and great company. We had
We had an awesome time. 2 Danish Vikings together here in Estonia.